What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Getting Technical, joined by Raleigh, Sam, and first-time appearance Burke. What's going on, fellas?
It's a good day to be a Jets fan.
Oh, my God.
That's all I'm going to say.
What a day. What a time to be alive.
Fucking day to be a Jets fan.
What a time to be alive.
Jet the fuck up.
Jet the fuck up is right.
Yeah. I had this thought, like, right now. I was like, just typical, like, the way the Jets have been over the years. Like, what if, like, this doesn't happen and he retires?
I'd probably I would honestly I would drive in oncoming traffic. Not even, like it's not
There
even
is a world that happens.
Like think about like
100%.
if he like our current QB room is Zach Wilson and Chris Streveler. That's our current QB room.
Yeah,
so it's like
bad.
if we don't go get Rodgers, and it's just like Lamar is apparently rejecting $130 million fully guaranteed contracts. It means we have to go out and spend an ass load plus 2 guaranteed first-round draft picks on Lamar. It's just that's tough. That's tough. That's why he's not getting a lot of contracts right now.
Like
it's
the
just so
Lamar
much to
thing
give up.
sounds so good getting Lamar Jackson, but then you realize all you have to give up, you have to give him so much guaranteed money, and it's like at that point you're just strapped for cash. Like what can you really do? Once all those guys, once Garrett Wilson, once Breece Hall, once Sauce Gardner, once they all need to get paid, you can't pay them because
you got to pay Zach, right?
Oh yeah, Zach Wilson, huge.
Zach
He might get $300 million guaranteed.
You wouldn't even get that Monopoly money.
all the MILFs in the tri-state area are going to fund me.
Literally sitting there. They're starting to GoFundMe. They're starting to GoFundMe to keep him in New York.
Bro, it's like it's.
But I mean, obviously, Rodgers is our biggest news. I mean, honestly, this was like when we got Le'Veon Bell. Like the excitement that I had. I remember I was texting our boy Joe Blackhall. I was like at work just texting him all day and just being like, "Yo, like we're gonna get Le'Veon. We're gonna get Le'Veon. We're gonna get Le'Veon." Obviously, like Le'Veon busted out, but because I mean, he took that year off. It was way different. You know, Aaron Rodgers is a year out from being back-to-back league MVPs. Like, it was a way different guy. Like, talking about top 3 QB all time. Like, if he busts out and doesn't work out, doesn't pan out, and got all this hype up again, it's stereotypical New York fucking Jets. Go out and finally get the QB that you needed, and he just sucks. Or he gets hurt, or just ends up saying, like, oh, screw it, I'm retiring anyways. I'm going back into my cave, and I'm retiring.
Bro, he didn't even make the full 4 days in the darkness. He left after 2.5 days.
No, he said he did.
He
On
said
the Pat
he
McAfee
came.
show, he said he was
Did
there
he?
for 5
Yeah.
days.
Because the
and 4
report
nights.
came out. They were talking on ESPN like he didn't even last the fucking 4 days.
No, he did. I
ESPN
watched the
didn't even
podcast
have his
with,
fucking
Aubrey
phone
Marcus.
number until yesterday.
Who?
People on ESPN didn't even have his phone number until yesterday. How the hell did they know where he was?
It is so fun because Trey Wingo, he's the one who really broke it. He actually had sources. But
Yeah.
it's so fucking funny how like Aaron Rodgers despises like the mainstream media so much that he just none of them could get anything from him.
He
And
absolutely
they really had no idea what was going on with him.
he dunked all over fucking Adam Schefter.
When he
Yeah,
said,
he was
did
like-
he post his text messages? And then he was like,
After
no.
posting
And he was like, I didn't think he would.
Yeah, and he said he was like basically I told him that he doesn't know anything, and I told him to get rid of my number.
Yeah,
And he said he's like the same thing to that girl, whatever her name is, Diana or whatever.
Rossini, yeah.
Yeah, Rossini.
She's good though.
She is
pretty
good. Yeah.
I mean, Schefter's usually not bad. It's just like I feel like now they were just all trying to like grab at this story because obviously this is the hottest story of the offseason.
It's because they all want to be first.
Yeah, so like you're trying
Even
to.
the guys on NFL Network,
It's-
Tom Pelissero, Garofalo, and
Yeah.
obviously Rap.
I mean, it's like it was like the Aaron Judge thing. Like that guy just threw out. He was just like, oh, like
Yeah, John
Arson Judge signs with the San Francisco Giants. It's just like that just wasn't a thing. But he just wants to be the guy to break the news. Like Schefter wants to be the guy because that's how you keep your job. Like if you keep consistently being the third person to report the big story, then it's just like we're gonna be
We
like,
could do that.
yeah. Then
We could put out a post
I can see
guy-
it.
third
that-
person to break the news.
That
Yeah,
guy
I
from
can sit on-
Sports Update, Ari Mariov.
Yeah, he's pretty good though. I will say
He's
I fuck
good,
with
but
him.
he, like you said, he just he tweets out the same thing. Oh, whatever. Jamal Williams just got the deal. So Jamal Williams, 3 years, $12 million, $4 million guaranteed per Adam Schefter.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
We know
like
Adam Schefter
not,
was first.
Yeah, you're not an insider. It's like guys like Schefter need to go out and break the stories first because even if it comes at the cost of like saying false information, because you just have to try and stay on top of the game and stay on top of the trending stuff.
It does work though. I mean, the NBA Twitter has 3 like of those aggregator accounts. My Hoops update,
It's Legion Hoops.
Legion Hoops, and then
Basketball Forever.
No, the Hoops Central or something.
Oh,
There's
Hoops
NBA
Central,
Central,
yeah.
Hoops Central, and then there's Legion Hoops. And bro, 2 of them have 1 million followers, and the other one has like 700,000.
My thumb's got like Parkinson's right now. Thumb's just like shaking crazy.
It's like,
But basketball is very different. It's just like it's such an open world compared to the NFL. Like everything in the NFL is so like tight, nip and tuck. Everything's so quiet. Whereas with the player movement and all the extra shit that goes on in the NBA, it makes sense that they're just like these random people on part of these like.
I think
built-up
when
news
you
outlets
when
that
you got
have
like the smaller,
sources.
but when you have like the smaller teams, like obviously like how LeBron James is basically the GM of the LA Lakers. Like like they're saying all these things where like Rodgers is like, putting out a list of guys that I want to come in, but like it's not like a be all end all like you were saying. It's not like if they don't go get Randall Cobb and Mercedes Lewis, you're gonna back out. But like LeBron is gonna be thoroughly upset when the LA Lakers don't go and get the players that he wants. Like it's just like it's a different kind of like structure, the way the GMs work and stuff like that. Like I'm sure, Jokic now and Giannis, they all just sit there and there's like, I want XYZ on this team, and that's just how it has. That's how
exactly
it has to
what
run.
happened with the Nets with Kevin Durant and Kyrie.
Yeah,
They wanted James Harden. It didn't work out. Then they're like, all right, trade him. He wants to get traded. So we'll bring in Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is afraid to play basketball. Then Kyrie Irving's like, I'm not playing for you.
Yeah.
And then Katie's like, well, if Kyrie's not going to play, you got to trade me. And I only want to go to this place and this place and this place, even though I just signed a 4-year deal with you last year.
Like they're dictating the market and stuff like
and they're all
way
like
more
shitty
heavy.
GMs, which is
So
funny.
I think NFL players are a lot more expendable.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
And
also very true.
That's the main difference.
Their shelf life is so limited.
Yeah,
Like
there's
think
a
about
few
it.
people
Like
in the league
Zeke is now a free agent. You're talking about a guy 3 years ago was like a number 1 running back in the NFL, and now he couldn't even start this year over Tony Pollard. Like Tony Pollard's good, but like Zeke was supposed to be like the next coming.
Because it's a quarterback-driven league, the NFL. And the NBA is like you could have an amazing point guard, and like then you just need 2 or 3 pieces, and you can contend. Well, you don't have a quarterback in the NFL. That's the only position. Like the Jets, like this year, they had a sick defense. They had
Good run game.
2 of the offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, all these great pieces, but they couldn't even make the playoffs because they had Zach Wilson playing quarterback.
Yeah.
So it's like if you don't have an elite quarterback, you have basically no chance to win.
And if you think about it, like a quarterback who treated himself and his team like he was part of like an NBA franchise, Russell Wilson, how he made all these demands. He was going to Denver, and then he has his own office, his own parking space.
Yeah.
He's getting all this guaranteed money. He's dictating how the game is being run. He's apparently hard to work with. The receiver room hates him. All this extra shit, and it just doesn't work.
He demanded his own office.
Yeah, like he has his own
Like
space.
yeah,
and
like
facility.
he's
like
he's like a very like separate guy, like from everything. Like he doesn't like really
steals
like
money from
communicate.
charities.
He also sends dick pics to reporters, but I mean,
Yeah.
Brett Favre was the GOAT, could do whatever he wants. But fucking like Russell Wilson supposedly just like had I don't know when this all started becoming like real public news, but just like as over these last couple of years, just like not a good locker room guy, doesn't communicate well with his teammates. It's hard to get in touch with, even as a teammate. Like there were guys who were like, I can't even like, I've been on his team for X amount of years. I can't even get a text back from Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And we've played 4 seasons together. Can't even get a text back from the guy.
That kind of seems to be like a similar narrative to what the media is trying to talk about with Rodgers. A lot of them they're all saying like, is he that committed? And he went on Pat McAfee today and said that he is, and he like wasn't sure, but now he realized that he doesn't want to stop playing football. But a lot of people are like, is he gonna buy in? Is he gonna buy into the culture? Is he just gonna be kind of there? But based on everything I've seen, I feel like Rodgers, like him and Randall Cobb, like he forms pretty serious bonds with a lot of his teammates.
Well, that was also he formed that bond with Randall Cobb when they were both young and starting to make names for themselves in the league. Obviously, Rodgers was already there when Randall Cobb, but he obviously isn't who he is now. We heard earlier in the offseason last year and even going into the year this year how frustrated Aaron Rodgers was with having all these rookie weapons with Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, trading away Devontae Adams. He was having trouble getting used to the young guys. And that was a real situation where you were like, is he going to be cool with Garrett Wilson, Denzel Mims, Breece Hall, Elijah Moore, especially Elijah Moore? But it looks like he's cool with it.
That was also just like a talent issue. I think it was just like they just clearly weren't talented in the receiving department and stuff, and they just weren't making any attempts to go get more talent. Like, you just let Devontae Adams walk. Obviously, he was intent on going to play back with Derek Carr. But
Look at that blew up in his face.
Yeah,
That
what an
fucking
ass.
blew-
What an ass. Well, I like Jimmy G, but that's kind of
I
funny.
mean, if he can stay on the fucking field, I mean, he's good. But I mean,
Yeah.
at some point, I mean, the Raiders might be the worst team in the league next year. Realistically,
No.
they have
Not
a
even close.
bottom 5 defense. They have one of the worst offensive lines in football.
But they
Darren
have
Waller's
one
gone.
of the worst offensive line, but still were able to produce the top rushing running back.
Is
They're the number one running back. So like, how bad could it have been?
Is it guaranteed that Josh Jacobs is going to? Because if Josh Jacobs doesn't do that again, then they'll
Yeah.
he's going to have instead of
Yeah, but Jimmy G will win you
1,500?
football games. He's gonna win you football.
That's what it comes down to. Is Jimmy G just wins?
Yeah, he knows how to win games. He's gonna limit the turnovers. He's gonna make the right plays.
He's won games with Kyle Shanahan and one of the most loaded offenses in the league.
Yeah, I know, but we're talking about you just said the worst team in the NFL.
But that's not like
They
it's
They're
might
not gonna
be
be
the
worse
worst
than the
team.
Texans. They're not gonna be worse than
Colts.
The Colts.
I mean, if the
They're gonna be
Texans
worse-
get if the Texans get Bryce,
They're not gonna be worse than the Panthers. They're not gonna
if
be
the-
worse than the Falcons.
if the Panthers get if the Texans get Bryce Young, I think that the Raiders.
Who's he
will be
throwing
worse than-
to? He's gonna be running
the
for his
Texans
life.
just signed who they signed? Robert Woods.
There you go. Guy was a fucking bum this year.
And Brandon Cooks is still there.
He's
Brandon Cooks.
I don't think he's gonna come back.
No, he wants to get traded, but that's not guaranteed.
He's
that
been
it will
trying to get
happen.
traded. He's been trying to get traded for like 2-3 years now.
Yeah.
They just won't let him go. But I can't. Bryce Young isn't making the world of change for them. Taking him from one.
agree.
But like what were the Raiders this year? 8-9 or whatever.
Yeah.
Right, and that's with Derek Carr, who had a Pro Bowl season. Devontae Adams had a Pro Bowl season. Josh Jacobs had a Pro Bowl season. And there's no guarantee that any of that is going to happen again. And they're still in one of the hardest divisions in football.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. The Chargers suck, right, Chris? Worst team going. Probably so far the worst offseason I've ever seen in the history of the NFL.
Jamal Williams to the Saints 3-year deal.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah,
3
sick,
years,
bro.
$12 million.
10 minutes
guaranteed. Just like Aaron Miryov. My sports update.
Per Adam Schefter, per Adam Schefter, Chris Olberding with the breaking news 20 minutes late. Thanks, dickhead.
So yeah, but I mean, back to Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. There's just there's just so much to like about it. I mean,
What's there to...
there's nothing,
So-
there's
so
nothing
hold-
to
so
not
hold
like
on,
other
hold
than
on.
the fact that
So-
he might leave next year.
Which sucks, but at the same time, like, if you're saying, like, what your prediction, if that even comes remotely, like, if we don't give up a first round pick this year and we do that conditional second rounder
Yeah.
where if he doesn't come back next year and we don't give up any first rounders, then we just sit there and go, all right, let's just reset, go get another QB.
Yeah.
Brett
it's-
Favre go straight to the Jets, or did he go to the Vikings?
Brett Favre
first?
got traded from the Packers in
To the
2008
Jets,
to the
right?
Jets, for a
and
fourth
then-
round pick.
Yeah, and then went
he
to the
got
Vikings.
hurt and got released.
It's kind of weird how
Guy
they
played the
both
rest- guy
are,
played
like,
half a
having the
season with a
same
torn bicep.
trajectory.
It really is so weird. My dad had this shirt when we got Brett Favre. And it was
I have a
Green
Brett Favre
Bay
jersey.
shirt With, it was a Green Bay shirt.
Oh.
And it was all their colors, green with the yellow. And it was the state of Wisconsin that said, "We'll never forget Brent."
Brent.
We'll never forget Brent.
That's so bad. But all right, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but I want to say it on camera. I think that the deal is going to be a second round pick this year, a conditional second next year that can turn into a first if Aaron Rodgers commits to playing in 2024, and Corey Davis to the Packers for
He's
Aaron
gotta go.
Rodgers and a fourth round pick. And Aaron Rodgers, the Packers have to retain 25% of his contract.
That's a tough one. I think right now they're obviously trying to fight for the most. That's why the deal hasn't been done yet. They're sitting there trying to obviously get the most draft compensation out of the Jets. What you were saying before, like Joe Douglas swindles some deals. Like I haven't seen as obviously a Jet fan because we're just used to poverty. But he does swindle some deals where you're just like, I don't even understand. Like if we can get Aaron Rodgers without trading a first rounder, I would honestly be shocked. I don't see how you give up
Because the
a
big
top
thing
five
about it-
quarterback of all time without giving up a first round draft
The
pick.
thing about it is he's getting paid more than any other quarterback in the league. He's 38 years old, coming off of a down year, and
A down year is still top 10 in the league.
it's crazy. But he's still contemplated retirement, and he's coming into a brand. Not a brand new system because it's Nathaniel Hackett, but he has brand new weapons. He's in a brand new city. I mean, there's a lot of factors going against the idea of Aaron Rodgers being the MVP that he's getting paid to be.
The only downside I will ever say about Rodgers is that it's been a long time since he's really won, and like obviously he always has winning seasons, but like really deep into the playoffs. Because the past few times it's been like playoffs, it's like the
NFC
going gets tough.
game.
When
His first MVP year, they lost to the
But I'm saying
Niners.
it's been a long time.
No.
He
I
didn't
meant
play
the
well.
first MVP
Yeah.
year with Nathaniel Hackett. In 2020, I think he made the NFC Championship game, and they got blown out by the Niners.
Yeah.
But that was the first MVP
It just
in the back-to-backs.
I just always feel like it's obviously just like a feeling, but whenever like the going gets tough, like he gets down early, it's like, all right, wrap it up, let's go home. There's not a lot of there's not a lot of that dog in him. It's tough to see if you're. He was even saying, it was like, I was 90%, leaning towards retirement before going into that cave or whatever. And it's like, is he gonna come back and have that fire? But the only thing I'm thinking is, if all these young guys around him, like the guys like Wilson, the guys like Sauce, the guys like Brees Hall, can really just rejuvenate him, get him back into that mindset where it's like, I need to go win one more time. Because he really needs to win one more time to really solidify himself, like right below Brady. And I mean, when Mahomes is retired, Mahomes is going to be the second greatest quarterback of all time.
Probably.
Maybe even, yeah. If he wins, two more
depends how
Super
much he
Bowls,
wins.
you could really say he'll be the best. But he'll be a top 3 QB if he wins one more Super Bowl.
Who, Rodgers?
Yeah. You give him one more Super Bowl and two solid years.
He has one, right?
He has one Super
So
Bowl.
do you
He's got
put
3 MVPs.
Do you put him over Manning?
If he wins one more,
No, right now.
right now, no.
Peyton or Eli?
Hey,
I just wanted to see what he was saying.
yeah.
Nah,
Montana. I feel like you got to go Brady, Montana, Manning.
No, Montana. I mean, Montana's like that old school answer. It's like all of our dads would say, like Joe Montana was the
But
greatest.
before
like,
Brady was really considered the GOAT, I mean,
It was Montana.
it was a lot of people did say Montana.
it's Montana because
people were still debating Peyton.
I would, but like think about it. Who would you rather have as a quarterback, Joe
I'd rather have
Montana
Peyton.
or Peyton Manning?
I'd rather have Peyton.
Peyton Manning, probably.
I mean, the peak Peyton Manning is 50-something touchdowns. The guy is just you don't even need
there
an
you
offensive
go.
coordinator. You have
Per-
Peyton Manning.
Per Ian Rappaport, Miles Sanders signs with the Carolina Panthers.
Why? But like the
Because
Panthers,
he probably got a bag for a bad team.
but the Panthers were running the ball really well last year with who they had. Like with
Deonta
Chuba
Foreman,
and
yeah.
Deonta Foreman. Deonta Foreman was just throwing out great games. I don't like.
Who's their quarterback? They're going to draft a quarterback, right?
It's going to probably
Yeah.
be CJ. I mean, they got the first overall pick.
So they
I
gotta
would
get
assume they
CJ
take
Stroud?
CJ Stroud or Bryce Young.
Dude, who they signed? Mike White?
Or,
Where'd Mike White go?
no, Mike White's with
Mike-
the Dolphins.
Dolphins. Yeah, that's right.
They haven't signed. I don't think they've
Yeah,
signed.
they didn't sign anyone, but they
No.
lost DJ Moore.
Yeah, they traded
DJ Moore
DJ. They
went
traded
to,
DJ
the
Moore
Bears.
to the Chicago for that in that
Chicago's
trade.
made some decent moves. I saw.
Yeah.
Chicago has made some decent moves. But I saw one thing, like...
The DJ Moore thing
gave-
is
they
a
gave
really
Tremaine-
solid.
They gave Tremaine Edmonds $72 million after just trading away Roquan Smith, who's a much better linebacker, and saying, "Oh, the reason why we traded him
It's because of money.
But it's because of money. We don't want to
Yeah.
pay that much money to an inside linebacker.
It doesn't
And
make
then you
it-
give all that money to Tremaine Edmonds. Like, what are you doing?
I wanted the Jets to trade for freaking Roquan. I was all
over it.
But I was all over that, and then like Quincy Williams really started to like really kind of pop off.
And we
So I
got
was
him
like,
back.
yeah, I'm all right with that. Quincy Williams was really solid. Did a lot of good things. I mean, the defense is obviously not the issue with the Jets. It's going to be if they can bolster up that O-line enough to keep him protected all year so he can sit there and find Wilson and Moore and I guess now Alan Lazard.
Yeah.
Which I think Alan Lazard is going to be a sneaky good, move. Like you're going to have him and Wilson on the ends and then Eli Moore in the slot.
Now, who does Miami still have all their corners, including with Jalen Ramsey now?
Yeah, they still.
So they still have
Miami's defense is still
Xavier Howard.
Yeah.
Byron Jones is
Byron-
going to Xavier. Byron Jones is retired.
He retired. Okay, so you got Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, they got probably.
with their D line. Like that's pretty.
I mean,
It's gonna be tough.
I mean, it's not like Buffalo still. No matter what, Buffalo's probably going to always throw out good defenses.
Yeah, Buffalo's still gonna be good.
Belichick is Belichick with his defenses. He's always going to figure out ways to have a solid enough defense. But it's not like Rodgers, can't figure out his way
No,
through.
no. It's just gonna be.
tough.
I think that division's just gonna be really good.
Yeah, it's
Like,
definitely
really,
gonna be. It's
it was good last year, but
yeah,
it's gonna be like
it's
really
definitely
good
gonna
this
be
year,
like
yeah.
it should be one
Most
of
competitive.
Yeah, them in the AFC West probably gonna be.
Well, we thought last year, but the AFC West was
But I mean,
garbage.
think about it. The Jets went 7-10 with Zach starting most of the games, and then trying to rely on a half dead Mike White. Guy was playing so hurt. We threw out Chris Streveler one game, and they still managed to go 7-10. Chris Streveler can't even throw a ball, 25 yards.
That was one of the craziest things.
Like horrible, just like horrible.
No, so listen to this. So this is Aaron Rodgers' this is stats from last year. So we threw for 26 touchdowns, 3,695 yards, and 12 interceptions.
Still
That's
one.
that's a
That would
that's
still
a
be one of the best seasons in Jets history.
that's a lot of interceptions for Rodgers too.
I know.
If
That's a
we go to-
lot.
That would be tied. That's a down year for Aaron Rodgers, like a bad year for him.
Yeah,
He would be tied for third all time in single season touchdowns in Jets history.
yeah.
and
Which
I
is
think
disgusting.
Fitzpatrick, baby.
Yeah.
he would be fifth in yards all time.
In a single season.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Jets history, and that is like a pretty.
They were
mediocre
they were showing like the past 3 years, like he's thrown over 100 touchdowns. Like the Jets QBs have like a 1-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, and he's at like 100 something touchdowns to like 30 interceptions. Like he's thrown he's thrown
I
like
don't even think he's thrown 30 picks in the last 3 years.
I don't think he has
Not
either.
even
It's
close.
no, it probably is close.
Bro, he's
'cause
doing
he had-
like 2.
No, he had,
But he-
he had
Bro, he's probably at like
Well, he-
11.
He threw
No, he had
4 the
15
year
last
before,
year.
He threw 5 the year. He had 12
so he
last
has
year.
20 he has 20
Oh, he had
interceptions.
12 last year?
yeah.
He had 12.
And then 9, so
Four the year
21.
before, and he had 5 the year before that. And then let's
He was-
keep going. The year before that, he had 4. The year before that, he had 2.
That's insane.
27 in 5 years.
To throw
That's pretty insane.
2 interceptions in an entire football season is insane.
Hasn't thrown
And how
over
many
10
touchdowns did he
interceptions
throw?
Since 2011. Aaron Rodgers has not.
And they won the Super Bowl that year, no?
Outside of last year,
2010.
He has not thrown over 10 interceptions since 2011.
Was it 2010?
Fucking insane.
But he's
Wasn't the
also
2010
been
Super Bowl
he's
the-
also been
No, that
fault
was the
like
2010 Super
at
Bowl.
fault
2011
for a
was
lot
the-
of that. They
was
say
the
he doesn't
Patriot
throw a lot of
Giant
picks
rematch.
because his lack
Right.
of aggression and
Right.
and he's like almost stat padding and he doesn't make the throws that Favre and Josh Allen and Mahomes do and Burrow, like these aggressive throws where you put yourself in.
Did.
Yeah.
That's why Brett Favre is the most.
Brett Favre.
I'm saying he did it to the extreme, but
You
I'm
would just
saying
watch Brett
Rodgers
Favre
really doesn't pull the trigger.
Brett
a
Favre
lot.
dropped that shoulder. I was like,
know?
and
It's
interceptions incoming.
No, it is.
It was just so stereotypical. Brett Favre drops back,
'Cause you see guys
sees
like
nobody,
Manning and
drops
Brady.
the shoulder,
They've all done
pick
that.
me.
Especially when he if you
launches
see
the ball
if you see
85
Favre
yards.
roll out to the right and immediately snap his head left, pick straight across the other side.
Guy's
of the
throwing
field.
the ball 85 yards downfield to a wide open free safety.
Yeah, yeah,
Who are you throwing that ball to, bro?
so bad. Yeah,
I had no idea he won it 4.
yeah. I mean,
4 MVPs.
Oh, I thought he was only 3. I mean, back-to-back MVPs. Mm-hmm. 2 intercept. Like,
I want to bring something up
Really
because
that
we were
he
talking
had.
about the
Turnover.
first overall pick. When we last spoke and we were talking about, I said that the Giants should draft Anthony Richardson, and you guys called me fucking nuts.
Yeah,
I think you are nuts. It guy
Well,
sucks.
His first overall. Hold on.
I don't care what you do at the combine. Look at what Zach Wilson did at his pro day. Fooled the entire NFL. Made us draft him 2nd overall. He fucking sucked. Anthony Richardson was
Hey,
terrible. Terrible in college. He was such a mediocre QB.
Vegas is almost always right.
Look at Chris's face.
Vegas is almost always right. He had a 20 going into the combine plus 2750.
Oh.
Last week he's now plus 350 to be the
But
first
that's
overall pick.
Vegas gambling on these GMs being morons and just looking at a guy being like, oh, he's super athletic. We could turn him into the next Cam Newton. Guess what, guys? Cam Newton is also the most overrated quarterback of all time. Guy had one good season. Obviously, he won his MVP, got smoked in the Super Bowl, and then did what the rest of his career? Sucked.
He also had like 3 different shoulder surgeries, but okay.
Don't care. Sucked.
But
I just
on
don't
top,
think Anthony Richardson's gonna like. It's hard to watch him right now, and I'm not like
So bad.
you would take him over Daniel Jones right now.
I would
No.
I would take him over the
No.
fact
I'm not
paying-
wasting a first-round draft pick.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm also
when
not
you
wasting. I'm also not wasting
when you
$40 million on him.
but like you just threw a bag at your QB, and then you're gonna go draft another guy.
But I said
this
I
was
said this to
prior
them
to-
before. Like I said this.
He was saying this is what the Giants should do. He said either go get Derek Carr or draft Anthony Richardson and just let Daniel Jones walk.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been all over the Derek Carr.
and
I'm
this
not giving
was-
$40 million to a guy who just threw 15 touchdowns.
hold on.
No, but listen.
Peak- That's peak Jets fandom right there.
No,
is
listen.
go give a guy $40 million to throw 15 touchdowns.
But let's just think about the situation. Plug Derek Carr in that Eagles game. The Giants still fucking lose. And who knows if Derek Carr even beats the Vikings. So you're going to go what? And get Derek Carr. I was thinking, let's keep Daniel Jones because of his relationship with Saquon. Because I want Saquon to stay. If you let DJ walk, Saquon's probably like, fuck y'all, I'm out too. And then the Giants go into rebuild mode with Derek Carr.
Yeah, but also you got to look at the...
I'm good on that. Like,
But you got to look
DJ.
at the market for running backs. Like, they were showing a statistic about all of the past Super Bowl winning...
I saw everyone made under $1 million.
Yeah, like, you don't need a...
I
You don't
get
need
that,
a
but
Saquon...
Saquon is the heart and soul of the New York Giants right now. He's the heart and soul, and like there's a few guys that are like
Darren Waller, baby.
X factors, and Saquon is like an X factor in a game. Like he wins games for you. Like he won a lot of Giants games this year.
But running backs come and go. Like, they don't...
Yeah, but not of that talent. When you have a guy like that, you keep him. Like look at Adrian Peterson. You keep him. Derrick Henry, you keep him. I think
But
Saquon's
you're talking about
Panthers
you're talking
didn't
about
keep
two guys that have
Christian
done nothing winning wise.
well, running
Derrick
back-
Henry,
like
Derrick
winning-
Henry, first round knockouts when Adrian Peterson peak in
2012.
what if Minnesota? Holy fuck!
Oh, I thought you guys were going about the year, yeah.
beating his son on the side, like.
The Switch.
But what?
No Nintendo.
It's just sitting there. He has 2-year-old kid can't even talk. But you know what? Just fucking whatever.
I get that.
But what were they? They weren't winning.
No.
Well, 'cause
but
they
I'm
had
just
Christian
saying when
Ponder
you have a
at-
guy
at-
like that, you keep
They
him.
what
quarterback.
for 2 of those years.
Well, no, I mean Brett
Tavares
Favre was there.
Jackson.
Well,
He
Tavares.
died.
Tavares Jackson
Yeah,
died.
last year, right? Or 2 years ago?
Really?
Recently, yeah,
Was he vaccinated?
probably.
Aaron Rodgers not.
He's immunized.
Shout out Johnson and Johnson. He's
If you're doing
immunized.
enough
What does that
ayahuasca,
even
I
mean?
think
Does that
it- I
mean he
think it
had it
overacts.
and then he just
Huh?
got over it? Like,
Yes, it means he got COVID
Alright.
and he's naturally immune because that's how.
how do you
Bodybuilds
think
antibodies.
This is a sports
How
podcast.
do you
This,
think
this
that
isn't the Joe
Rodgers
Rogan
does with,
experience.
Like, the New York meat. Do you think like they just eat it? Do you think that he just doesn't give him shit and they just all hate him?
I think he treats
Or-
him the same way he treated Schefter and Ian today. He doesn't give them shit. He fucking blue balls them on everything, on every press conference he goes to, and goes out there and balls out and keeps them fucking quiet.
The media to me is not an issue for him.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
when
either.
when you're 38 years old, like, and you're gonna sit there and tell me like, oh, the media is a factor in your career, like,
especially like someone like him, like if you were some like middling quarterback and you played in a small market, he's Aaron fucking Rodgers. Like he's been in the spotlight no
Yeah.
matter where playing in Green Bay. It doesn't matter.
I don't like Green Bay, like, is Wisconsin like anything like New York? No, but the Green Bay like sports. Like, yeah, is like they have decade-long wait lists to get season tickets
50
for the
years.
Green Bay Packers. That is, as if you go in there and you're weak mentally, they'll chew you apart over there in Green Bay. They're not going to just sit back and be like, oh well, they're going to fucking tear you apart.
Well, I mean, you saw what happened with Eddie Lacy.
I feel like people overhype the New York media.
I don't think so. I think it's pretty crazy. Like it's been like this, and it's every sport. So I mean, at least for like basketball, baseball, and football, like there's just like this like aura that comes behind like playing in New York. Like you're playing on a bigger stage. Like you're playing on a world stage.
I think they
every
also
game.
say that because when you're in New York, you're also more likely to get nationally televised games.
Yeah, no, but
But
that's
really.
the whole, that's the whole point. You're on a pedestal.
But
Like,
he's not Kirk Cousins. He doesn't go out there and just suck dick in his nationally televised games. And I love Kirk Cousins, man, but like, guy just doesn't win prime time games. Like Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers hasn't done a great job of it in his last 8 years. Primetime games. He's look up. Bro, I'm talking primetime games in general. Look up Aaron Rodgers' primetime records. Probably not great.
I mean, he gets.
If
I mean,
you're-
he
when
gets
you're-
almost every
when you're
Thursday
throwing
night
two
and
in a
Sunday night football game against the Chicago Bears. So we already know he's starting off 1-0.
You just said he threw 25 interceptions in 5 years. Like, he's balling out every game.
The defense is what's fucking blowing cock for them over there in Green
Yeah,
Bay.
but I'm just saying, like everyone, like it's just like because everyone
Which was
looks at
shocked,
the
'cause they
quarterback
put a lot of money
position
into
and
their
says
defense.
it's
A lot.
regarded
A
to
few
a lot of
years
winning.
draft.
ago.
They put a lot of money and a lot of draft
hasn't
capital
won.
into that
Yeah.
defense.
Made no sense. Remember when Muhammad Wilkerson was like their big offseason acquisition.
Dude, they had Muhammad Wilkerson, B.J. Raji. I mean, they drafted Eric Stokes, Darnell
They had
Savage.
Jai Alexander was
Jair
like
Alexander,
number one corner last year,
Kevin
2 years
King.
ago, and he just like fell off the face of the earth. Cornerbacks are weird like that, where they could just like. Obviously, I don't want to say this about Sauce, but he could very easily just have like a down year, and then that defense is just entirely different.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the drop off for Stephon Gilmore. Dude was the defensive player of the year, and then he was
Yeah.
almost unplayable in
So
Indianapolis.
Bro, I'm surprised how many he's played. That's insane.
What?
are you looking
primetime
up his
games?
primetime games?
Aaron Rodgers' primetime record is 150, 79, and 1.
He's played in 100. What?
150,
There's
79
no way he
losses,
played
and one
that.
He's
tie.
played in
one-
200 plus primetime games.
There's no way
That's his.
correct.
That's got to be his career record.
Yeah.
We're talking about.
No,
Pro-
no.
There's no way he played in that many primetime. How many primetime games do you get a year?
Wait. They played.
Tell me, my man's played 220
Yeah,
primetime
that's
games.
his career. That's his career record.
No, not they played as. You can't fucking read, Raleigh.
Oh, it says right here. You look it up, and this comes right up. It's stat news, but then it goes interpret that as.
Guys, he can't read. Third grade reading level for Raleigh. At best.
I'd say we all pool our money together during Christmas time. Get him leapfrog learning kit.
He does have
Get him up to the red learning group.
All right. Say what you want. Aaron Rodgers does have the best passer rating in NFL history.
Yeah, and then this
In
someone
primetime
tweeted
games,
said
106.8.
Bears Packers should not be considered primetime games.
Hey, if they're on Sunday Night Football, it's a fucking primetime game. I don't care.
We're playing the Bears next year.
No, I'm just saying because that's who we would always be playing. I remember.
That's why.
But I'm saying, do we? Oh, no,
No.
we played the Bears this year, so we
Yeah,
probably
no,
won't
we
play
play
them
the
next year.
NFC West next year. I want to say.
No, we play the East, don't we? We
Oh,
play
the
the Giants
East,
and
you're
stuff.
right,
We
yeah.
play the NFC East next year, but they could be one of the randoms again. I don't know. Somebody put it in the group text.
They already came out with the schedule.
Yeah,
Not the
like
schedule,
our
but the
home
opponents.
away. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, his record in the playoffs is 12-10.
He hasn't been that good in the playoffs recently.
I mean, Lamar is what 1-3 or whatever, 1-2. I don't think he's really.
I wouldn't even
I don't
compare
even
those
think.
two.
I know what I'm saying. Like he would have been the other prime option if we don't get him, and it's not like he really has balled out in the playoffs. He is an MVP. Not like he went out there and brought the Ravens far. Granted, he throws the taxi cab drivers, but
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to see, since we're talking about the AFC and all this stuff, what do you guys think of the top 5 teams in the AFC next year, based on what we know today with Rodgers on the Jets?
I mean,
I would say-
you got to think Rodgers gives the Jets an extra 3 wins at least.
Yeah.
Like that Vikings game, I think they win.
I think they win the Jags game. I think they win the Vikings game. They win both Patriots games.
They're at least split against the Patriots. Even if they don't win both, they at least split against the Patriots. Like all the games where Zach was just tremendously terrible. He's the worst the worst quarterback.
Nathan Peterman level of quarterback.
And now we have
Yeah.
and now we have a fourth place schedule going into it. So like I just looked at our away opponents. Next year, other than the division, we're going to Denver, which I mean I think we could win.
We just did that this year. We
Yeah,
just
we're going to-
smoked
yeah,
them.
exactly.
Granted, they didn't have Russell, but Russell sucked this year, so it's like
Yeah. We're going to Vegas. That's a win. We're going to the Cowboys. We can win. We're going to the Giants, which is basically a fucking home. It's like a home game for each
yeah.
team. Going
W.
to Cleveland, win. And then obviously the division
Yeah.
games. And then home teams, we play at home against Atlanta. I think we
I think
W.
those games are kind of
That's-
hard to guarantee.
those are all, like the home against Atlanta.
Cowboys,
The-
I didn't say, no, I didn't
Browns.
say. I didn't
Yes,
say
you
the Cow.
did.
I didn't say it was
He's
a
he said
No, I
the
said-
Cowboys. We can win.
You can
That's a
win
win.
any
We can
fucking
win.
football game in
But
the
like-
NFL. I would hope so. If
Alright.
you go out there, yeah, you can.
you're trying to win, right?
Denver, Vegas, and Cleveland. I think are all guarantees for the Jets to win.
But, like,
and
you-
Aaron
like-
Rodgers.
Cleveland, you think?
Yeah.
But see, that's
So with
Is
Deshaun,
there any way that Deshaun Watson hasn't come back here?
I mean, it's
I don't
possible,
think he's
but
gonna
I mean,
have one, but
just
I don't think he is either.
I
but
was-
I would say that I would give us a 95% shot to beat Cleveland.
I
next
just
year.
I don't think Rodgers makes the Jets a top 5 team in the AFC.
Yeah, see, that's crazy to
so
me.
see, let's see your top 5 teams.
That's crazy to me.
Chiefs,
okay.
Bengals,
Okay.
Bills.
Eh.
Okay,
think the
so
Bills-
Bills.
They
so
lost.
that's-
They lost a
that's
lot
three.
defensively.
That's 3. We're better. We're better
Right
than
now, I'm taking Jacksonville.
No.
I'm taking going into
All right.
next year with T-Law. Yes, I am.
All right, you can. I'm not. Keep going.
Okay. And then
You say the Chargers will smack you across the fucking
I'm
face.
not a big Chargers guy. And then I would take. I don't know. Maybe if Lamar goes there, I think Baltimore is going to finish. If Lamar stays, they get him one receiver this offseason. I think Baltimore finishes with a better record than the Jets.
I don't think so. I disagree.
I think they all finish with around the same record, but they could easily hover around a top 5 AFC team.
In that division, I think it's going to be very tough.
We were a
Think
top
like-
5 NFC team halfway through the season last year. We were 7-2 in a top 5 team fighting for a division, and then we had fucking Zach Wilson and Mike White the rest of the way.
Zachary. Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, Jets, Jags, probably.
We're arguably right there with the Bills.
I'm not putting us over the Bills.
I think the Bills are losing a lot.
We fought with the Bills both times last year,
Chargers
and
are
we beat-
bottom
and we beat
5
them.
in the AFC.
and now we're adding Aaron
Bolt
Rodgers.
gang.
Still, like, we gotta
Herbert's a bust.
saying they're better than the Bills.
Eckler's
Still
gone.
have Josh Allen.
I didn't say
Keenan
that. If you
Allen
mentioned
can't
the Bills,
stay
I said,
healthy.
Yeah, I said we're right there.
Mike Williams can't stay healthy.
Dolphins are good, but I
The
don't know.
defense is fading
This
out.
fucking guy.
Is he just talking about the Chargers?
Yeah, he's just fucking.
I'm
ripping
just
over.
looking at Chris just ripping on the
Chris,
Chargers.
you want some? No. Okay.
Hey, yeah.
Next week when I bring in my
Shut up.
Ray Lewis action figure giveaway.
What are you gonna stab somebody and then blame someone else for it? Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Ray Lewis sitting there with a knife in his hand and then
Whoever has the most like comment on any TikTok.
How about you shut the hell up?
You know what, Obi? Get the hell out of the house. I was gonna say some real fucked up shit. I don't think you can.
Can
buddy.
we talk about the Giants getting fucking Darren Waller? The Giants stuff. The Giants still need to. They're gonna have to get a receiver still, right?
Yeah, they will.
So who?
110%.
D-Hop.
Who you want? You think they can get D-Hop?
Yeah.
What?
D-Hop's going to
What's
go
the
there,
trade?
KC, or Jacksonville.
I heard the Patriots are looking at him.
Yeah, or
Wait,
the
D-Hop's
Pats,
a free agent?
No, he's
they
gonna
got
get traded.
traded
Oh, I was gonna say. I was like, I didn't realize.
Yeah, I mean,
Why would you trade? Why would they trade D-Hop? Are they paying him an
He
assload of
wants
money?
out.
Well, he wants out. Kyler Murray's hurt. They're gonna be a shit team
Yeah,
next
they got to
year.
go rebuild. So,
How do you go rebuild when you just? I don't think they're even that bad of a team. I think if Kyler can stay healthy, they can win games.
He
Kyler's
has
gonna
no
be out for the whole year.
ACL, so that's the start of it.
So crazy idea. Sit in the pocket, you fucking moron. Get
I think
off.
That's how he enjoys his
Like
skill, no?
get off Call of Duty, and
That's true.
sit in a fucking pocket. I don't understand these guys sometimes. Like if I had their talent, I'm not saying I would do anything with it, but it just blows my mind when guys are so like could be as talented as him, and just blow it because you'd rather play fucking video games.
Two receivers on that team.
DeAndre Hopkins,
Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood Brown. I knew
Sorry.
I knew Marquise Brown was on there.
Greg
but
Dortch.
Greg Dortch. They just cut Robbie Anderson. Actually, I'm sorry.
Zach Ertz was
Chosen. No, his name is Chosen.
Chosen
now.
Robert.
Chosen. It literally changed his name to Chosen Anderson.
Fuck with Robbie.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Oh, nobody's fucking choosing him now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Giants.
That was a guy on the Jets too. I was like, I don't understand what people see. Guy runs one route, just runs a go route, and that's it. So
It
over.
fucking
Robbie
worked
had
for
a really
while.
good year in Carolina.
Yeah, just running go routes because they were just double teaming DJ Moore
And
then
loading
you
the
would
box
just-
against McCaffrey.
I don't know. Robbie had like over 70 catches that year.
70 catches.
What,
But he
that's
was
not
at the
good?
Jets, I think.
I'm saying no. Did he have that many?
I think so. I had him on my fantasy team that year. He was really
Oh,
fucking
because
good.
you
He
were
was my
sitting there,
starting
yeah,
flex.
because he had fucking the long bomb.
No, but I'm saying
He's Hollywood.
PPR,
He's
he
Hollywood.
was getting a lot of points. Let's see how many catches he had that year.
I'm gonna go
Robbie
59.
Anderson had 95.
Catches
or see. targets?
95 catches, 1,000
That
yards.
catches or targets?
And he only had 3 touchdowns.
He had 95 receptions.
Yes.
Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, 95 receptions, 1,100 yards.
And only 3 touchdowns. Exactly. He was cooking up that year. Had a very good year.
Yeah, what does he do? Running out at the 1 yard line?
Probably getting tripped up.
Saying,
Tripped
that's
up
what?
on his
That's
own legs.
10 yards a catch.
Guy looks like the cinnamon stick from the Applejack commercial.
Chris, get on the podcast, kid. Pop that Milwaukee shirt on and get over here.
I mean, look, there's a shit. I mean, if you want to go through all the signings, I mean, Jason Kelsey's back with the Eagles, which is huge. They
Darius
just brought-
Slay's gone.
Darius Slay is gone. I mean, I saw Marlon Humphrey start tweeting out something
Yeah, that-
after Darius Slay tweeted out a bunch of eye emojis, so he may be going there.
That'd be tough.
Jacoby Myers signed with Vegas, which is huge for them because now they got him, Devontae, and
Renfro.
Riley and I were talking before the pod started.
Mac Hollins.
They were one of the,
Mac Hollins. That's my fucking guy.
yeah, he's the only Mac Hollins fan.
You got Juju to the Patriots now.
Juju to the Patriots.
That combo is gonna be
But I mean,
Yeah, right?
they just traded Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, they just traded Jonnu Smith away. He's on the Falcons now, and if I'm Kyle Pitts, I'm fucking furious. You're trading for tight ends, and you just drafted me 4th overall, and you're not using me?
Yeah, I don't know what goes down there. Cause
Speaking of them, they fucking gave Jesse Bates a bag and a
Yeah,
half.
4-year, 88.
Was it 88?
Pretty sure.
Yeah. He got a fucking bag and a half. That was crazy. I didn't think that was going to
I know we're going back, obviously, because this is a Jets podcast today. The Jets need a safety.
Well, they just got the guy from Baltimore that
But they need a free. They need a pass cover. Like he's a Jamal Williams.
He's played I think he played every position on the field last
The
year.
only thing I was seeing is that a couple of years ago he had an ass load of passes defended. So like guys were trying to throw his way, and it seems like he was doing his part. But last year it seems like he was doing a lot of strong safety.
Well, that's because they
coming up extra guy in the box.
Well, they just added Marcus Williams, so he was the free safety over there now. I think they just moved him over, and then Tony Jefferson left. So I think it was just kind of like a personnel situation, and he decided to become a box safety. I would be cool with keeping Jordan Whitehead. It's just the amount of money that we're paying him.
Yeah.
If he's gonna fucking miss 37 tackles, I mean, I'm kind of over it.
Well, that's the thing where this guy from what's even his name? Irrelevant.
Whatever.
Whatever. But like he's a a big time strong tackler. So that's what I'm saying. Now we got to go get the free. Got to bolster up the D line, like you're saying. We let steroid Shep go.
Yeah.
So
Sheldon Rankins signed in with the Texans. 1 year,
Really?
$10.5 million. Which is a good deal for him.
Yeah.
The amount of limited snaps he played last year, trying to rotate in with Solomon Thomas, Q, Tanzel Smart, and Nathan Shepard, and he gets $10.5 million.
Solomon Thomas can play inside.
He's a free agent, though. We have to re-sign him. I don't know if the Jets are going to bring him back because he probably wants a decent deal.
The thing is, like, Salah really likes him.
I know he does.
He's a bit like he was with him in San Fran, so Salah really likes him.
I think he's going to test out. He's going to test out his free agent market. He'll probably be one of those late signings.
Don't get me wrong. I got all faith in Joe Douglas right now. They're just really kind of to bolster up this team.
I never not had Joe.
And we have a lot of money getting freed up after this season. So if we can get a lot of guys to maybe defer payments to later, backload their contracts and stuff like that, I think we could really fire up some good guys this offseason.
And that's what I was saying with Laken Tomlinson. You could restructure his contract. You could
cut that fat fuck.
You could restructure C.J. Mosley, but you have to worry about extending Quentin Williams. That's the number one option this year for them going into the next year's offseason.
I think if Garrett goes off again, you give him a fucking fat bag right then and there.
Nah.
Yes.
When do you get paid if you're a rookie in the NFL?
After
you get your 5th year option if you're a first round pick. So you get 4 years.
In the bag after year 2?
Go give him a bag. I fucking earned it. So good.
I wouldn't.
Guy's the next Randy Moss. Guy's Randy Moss already.
I'm trying to think of the other moves that happened. Gino got paid by Seattle.
What a disaster. I don't get what people's
Disaster? I don't think it was a disaster. I think
he's gonna be Ryan Fitzpatrick 2.0.
they might draft the Seahawks might draft a guy like Anthony Richardson with their first. They have the first round pick.
It's
for
like,
Denver's pick.
I get it, Gino.
Draft a quarterback. Use Gino
But-
as kind of a bridge.
But why would you give him like
It's all in 1 year.
But it's just
Yeah, it is basically a 1 year
Big
deal.
contract.
It's a front loaded contract, but I mean,
he is gonna bust out.
it's possible.
He's
But then you
gonna
keep getting better deal. I mean, you keep getting better draft picks. And if
but
you
they don't,
decide if you decide to go the route that
But do
Green
they
Bay
even have-
decides to go, and you let the guy sit on the fucking bench for a year, let Geno Smith play if you're able to get to the fucking because now the NFC West is going to be dog shit. They're talking. Think about the teams. You got Sam Darnold as the quarterback for San Francisco. They're probably not going to do great.
Could be Trey Lance or
I mean,
Purdy.
if it's Trey Lance, if he comes back,
Or
then he just
Purdy.
tears his ACL. Or Brock Purdy, he has a UCL injury. Is he
Yeah,
gonna
but
be
your
back?
UCL, you come back a lot quicker as a quarterback than you do like a baseball
Who
pitcher.
tore their ACL?
UCO.
You said ACL.
Oh,
You
Trey
said Trey
Lance.
Lance.
He tore his ACL. He broke his
He-
ankle.
broke his. broke his ankle, tore his ACL, whatever. Dude's gonna be out.
Huge
He's not gonna be
difference.
ready for.
Way big difference. Like a bone and then ACL.
Huge difference.
All right. Regardless, he's
Yeah,
not.
he's
but
probably
Purdy-
back healthy
but
now. Like
Purdy. If Sam Darnold is starting game 1 for San
no
Fran,
shot.
Whatever. My
Cool.
my point is that the Seahawks have probably the best opportunity to win that division next year.
San Fran just like they'll always just kind of that offense, like you said, like that Kyle Shanahan with all that offense. You know, Ayuk has turned out to be a really good wide receiver. You still have Kittle and McCaffrey. Debo's gonna, you know, I don't understand where people are just hating on Debo all of a sudden because he had a few down games. Like Debo's Debo, like that offense, you could stick Chris Streveler in there and still come out
the
with
Rams
an.
are going to be that bad.
They're talking about trading.
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of
Matt
Stafford.
Stafford. Who's gonna play quarterback?
They're trying to.
Who's trading for Matt Stafford? Doesn't he need like a spine surgery or neck surgery? To, like,
Somebody-
play football again?
He needs something. I don't know, but they've been talking about trying to trade him,
But they're talking about trying to get 2 first-rounders for him.
which is what they gave up to get him.
Yeah,
They're fucking delusional. That's what.
I know. A guy's getting.
That's
He's
what I'm
getting.
saying. And they
he's
just
got
traded
an-
away Jalen Ramsey.
And he's got an ass load of fucking money over.
What do
it.
they do with Aaron Donald? Does Aaron Donald just retire?
I mean,
See-
probably he wanted to. Fucking
I don't see
retire
him
the other
asking
year.
for a trade, right? Like he's probably just done. If he,
Nah, he was trying to retire last year, and then I mean now that Quentin Williams is the best defensive tackle in the league.
Yeah, Leonard Floyd is gone. Bobby Wagner's a free agent.
if they move on from all these guys, does Cooper Kupp become available through trade?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you see
Him going to the Giants. Yeah.
that going for a guy like
to the Giants.
Giants go get Cup
Well,
and
I'm just
D-Hop.
saying the Giants because they need a receiver. Cooper Kupp is just gonna.
Yeah, but you got to give up you got to give up a first or a second rounder for Cooper Kupp. You got to get
Oh, it's 100%
you could
first.
probably do a third or a fourth for D Hop right now. Even though I think D Hop is, when he's fully healthy and playing, like he's still a top 5 wide receiver. 2 years
I mean,
ago?
he was fully healthy this year. He just got suspended for PED use.
Well, it was like but like the year before that, or 2 years ago. Or I guess now it would be 3 years ago.
Yeah. What kind of injury did Kupp have?
His ankle tore ligament. He got the
Yeah.
surgery.
That's a tough one.
Especially for
Was
a guy
it, wait,
like
was it
him.
his Achilles?
Wow.
Because Achilles
He
is
got ankle surgery.
brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, the Giants could always just go get OBJ back.
That would
He
be
wants
cool with
$20
that,
million.
too. He
You
just
guys,
worked
you guys
out
are
for-
throwing out money to terrible players. So I
Who did
mean,
he just work out for?
I think he just had like a
put on
public. He just had like a public
but-
workout.
Yeah, I know, but they said like a specific team came to like watch him.
It might have been- it might have been the
were there,
Jets.
the Giants were
No,
there.
I think it
Arizona
was-
was there.
Uh,
A bunch of teams.
I
Like,
just
there was
saw
like
a post.
7 or 8
I think it
teams.
was. I thought it was New England or.
I don't know why Jerry Jones
I think it was
doesn't
New
sign him
England.
already. He's perfect for the Cowboys. Just go over there and
Speaking of Tampa, they just got Baker.
To, like, I guess they
Yeah, I know.
brought up
I like
OBJ
that.
on Pat McAfee today, and someone made like Sports Center. Someone made a post about it, like Aaron Rodgers talking about OBJ, and OBJ like commented with like the hard eyes like emoji. Like he's been like he tweeted something the other day.
please keep that fucking cancer out of the
Who's
Jets
other
locker room.
receiver That is free agent. Fuck, what's his name?
What team was he
Oh
on?
no, Thielen. He got cut.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Thielen.
Thielen. Big of-
Thielen would have been a nice move, but I mean, we just got Lazard, so.
Well, Thielen's
but
been talking to Carolina, so they need a wide receiver. I mean, it would make sense.
They need a quarterback.
Well, I'm telling you, I mean, they got a
Sterling
first
Shepard
overall
back.
pick. They're drafting
Hopefully he
CJ
keeps
Yeah.
it
Stroud.
out. They gave him 1 year deal, 13
Need a
million.
top dog.
But like, why trade DJ Moore? I guess you had to, but like, why trade DJ Moore to go get Adam Thielen?
Well, because it's not to go get Adam Thielen; it's to get the first overall pick.
I know.
You only
like,
give up You only give up 2 future firsts to get the first overall pick now.
But it was really like it didn't even really give up like all you did was flip your first, the first this year,
Well, but and then the first next year
and the
also.
first next year, yeah.
And a
But so
se-
you
and a
you
second.
flipped your first, traded away a first, and
DJ Moore in a second.
and your number 1 wide receiver, and then you're just gonna go out there and settle for Thielen.
It's not settling for Thielen. It's all because of the quarterback, and I mean that's probably what Frank Reich wanted. He wants to work with a young quarterback. He doesn't want PJ Walker. He doesn't want to bring
Just
back.
go get
Baker
Andrew
Mayfield,
Luck
Sam
out of retirement.
Darnold. Yeah, I'm sure.
Have you seen pictures of him?
He's thin as shit.
Yeah, a guy look like he hasn't touched a weight or eaten a protein in like since he's retired.
Yeah, guys just using like photosynthesis. Guys just bringing in
just
energy.
sitting there on the farm, just just laying out in the grass. Just
Now he really looks like the Geico caveman.
yeah, he looks sickly. He looks terrible.
But yeah, I just mentioned Zach. I mean Baker Mayfield is with
Tampa
Tampa
Bay.
Bay now. Andy Dalton signed with the Carolina Panthers.
Where did Jameis just go?
James is back
Re-signed.
with New Orleans.
He did resign.
Yeah.
1 year.
Andy Dalton just went
To Carolina.
Carolina. Oh, he'll be QB1 for them next year. If
No, because I think they draft somebody and Andy Dalton's a backup.
yeah, but
Or they start with that.
I'm a huge proponent of putting in the veteran.
From Ole Miss, that's the starter.
Matt Corral.
Corral. They named Corral the starter.
Over Andy Dalton? That's retarded. Andy Dalton is still a very
I saw this
serviceable.
TikTok about
Andy Dalton is
And,
still a serviceable
I
QB.
saw
Matt
this
Corral
This guy
is a
said he was
loser.
like, "Yo, Andy Dalton just fucks up
Like-
every team in the NFL because he gets there, he like acts like he's like this nice guy and he's really trying to help out the young guy and he starts by week 8. That guy gets cut, he leaves the next year. He's like Andy Dalton is just like a
It's
journeyman
just-
that just ruins every NFL team.
Well, he's the ginger.
PFT.
He's going and taking the souls of these young NFL careers.
Because who was he?
PFT on
He's done it to
Barstool.
Dallas. He did it to New Orleans,
Chicago.
Chicago, and now Carolina. It's
Now
gonna be
Carolina.
4 teams in a row that he's just gonna.
Was Andy Dalton? Did he finish the season with the Saints this year? He was their
Yeah,
quarterback.
Yeah.
Bro, that dude.
So was Herbert in the second half of the Jacksonville game. Suck it.
Ruined Alvin Kamara's fantasy value. Holy shit.
Well, he also ruined his own value by going out and being an absolute delinquent.
False reporting from this
Right?
fucking guy.
He's just out there just spewing
Jesus
garbage
Christ.
on the other side of the room. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
What did he say?
He said he was
He's like, no, Andy Dalton is named the starter.
Oh
after,
yeah,
just,
yeah.
after saying no, Matt Corral.
Attaboy, Obi.
Yo, PFT came out and posted a
Oh.
picture of the PFT commentator, the guy.
Oh,
PF Changs.
all right.
Bro.
EFT.
He said he posted a picture of Lamar Jackson in a Commander's jersey.
Yeah,
Which
I
is-
heard that too.
And literally 3 minutes later, Jacoby Brissett is planning to sign with the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, but Jacoby Brissett is a bona fide backup.
Well, but my point is like,
Like,
why
you-
you're gonna bring him in? You just
Yeah, but
drafted.
you signed him on a 1-year, $10 million deal.
Well, yeah, but they still have Matt Howell, the guy from
Oh yeah,
UNC
who'd
that they
Heineke
drafted.
signed with? The Falcons, right?
Heineke's
Yeah,
gone.
Heineke's
Yeah.
is-
So
Oh,
you think he's gonna start there?
Heineke's got that dog in him. Heineke's got
Well,
that
I mean,
dog in him.
Well, they drafted Desmond Ritter out of Cincinnati last year. I think it's probably a QB competition going into.
You got to give it
training
like
camp.
Ritter. I mean, that team is just in shambles. I mean,
They don't
it's
know
tough.
what they don't know what they're
It's
doing,
tough.
what they want. Like, I mean,
What pick did they have? They gotta have like
Gotta be
2 or
like
3,
top-
right? They gotta be a top
Atlanta,
5 pick.
yeah.
Gotta be a top 5.
It makes sense because last year they wanted Deshaun Watson. Then it was rumored that they were going to go after Lamar. And then the second they had the opportunity to go to Lamar, immediately it was
Lamar Jackson's going to the Jets or Falcons.
Yeah.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Jets or Falcons. Lamar.
in our fantasy football chat. And Obi has a screenshot, and almost every single day he sends.
yeah.
Lamar's going to the Jets or the Falcons, right?
But all right, so another thing about them is that. Hold on.
What are we running out of tape?
A big reason why people don't want to sign Lamar is because they're basically just creating the contract for the Baltimore Ravens. Nobody wants to sit
Well,
there,
you're-
negotiate a deal with Lamar, agree to it, and then
'Cause you're
Baltimore's
putting-
like, "Oh, well, we'll
yeah.
do that. We'll do that."
But you're gonna put yourself into a huge hole. Like if you're trying to rebuild in any kind of way, like Lamar is still young enough where you can kind of rebuild. You could take that, if you sign him to a 6-year deal or whatever, you could take the first 2 years and try and rebuild. But if you get rid of 2 first-round draft picks and he's getting an ass load of money, yearly, you're putting yourself into a hole. You don't have your first-round draft pick to go out there and get that, that guaranteed stud. If you're a Falcons with a top 5 draft pick, you're trying to go get that guaranteed stud, and you're just going to throw that away for the next 2 years.
Well, that's true, but that's why they drafted Kyle Pitts high, they drafted Drake London high, they got lucky with Tyler Algier. Cordell Patterson is still there. They have a good offensive line. All they're missing is a QB. And for in an NFC South, a division that really has nobody at the top of the fucking
Wide open.
Yeah, it's wide open.
That division is horrid.
Getting Lamar easily makes you the favorites to win.
I mean,
that division.
who are the QBs in that? It's you got
now it's Andy Dalton, Baker Mayfield, Desmond Ritter, and who the fuck did they just sign? The Saints.
Carolina.
No, the Saints. Who's the Saints quarterback now? Derek Carr.
Yeah.
But
Derek
still, if-
Carr is somehow leaps and bounds the best QB in that division.
But if you had
And
Lamar,
he
you're the
is
favorite.
so mediocre. Yeah, if you have Lamar,
had
then yeah.
Lamar, you're the favorite. And they came out and said immediately, and this was before Derek Carr was signed to the Saints at that point. They came out and said that they didn't want him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Where do you think he ends up?
Who, Lamar?
Yeah, you think he's?
Baltimore.
I
You think he
yeah.
stays?
I mean,
Where is he going?
well, he still has time. He wasn't allowed to talk to teams until today at 4:00.
I mean, like who is really in a position that can offer him that stuff and afford to lose the two firsts?
I agree. I agree. Washington.
I guess it.
I mean,
if
him and
Atlanta
him
changes their
and Terry
mind,
would be nice. And then Gibson coming out the backfield is a very solid receiving back.
Curtis Sam.
Brian Robinson.
Yeah, Brian
Yeah,
Robinson,
I mean,
Curtis
look,
Samuel
you
is
want to talk
there.
about having that dog in you. Take a bullet, come back 4 games later. Michael Thomas, turf toe, out for the year.
That was a great trade, right?
Yo, you wanna talk
For
about-
least.
oh my god. I was like, yo, there's no way this dude is out for an entire fucking year.
I traded him, Michael Thomas, and somebody else for who was it? Keenan Allen. For
Yeah.
Keenan Allen and like a 5th round pick or whatever the fuck it
Yeah,
was.
it was those two we were trading. Oh, it was Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yes, I gave him Clyde Edwards-Helaire
What a-
after he like went on that run of like a bunch of touchdowns in a row.
Touches and scoring 20 fantasy points.
Yeah,
I traded him and Michael Thomas away for fucking.
Guy was
Keenan Allen.
balling out and then gets benched. I was like, this is why fantasy fucking pisses me off. Although I'm in a solid spot for this year,
Yeah.
as I have Garrett Wilson and somebody else.
Yeah, bro, Garrett Wilson. Is
Oh, I have Jamar Chase.
probably gonna be
right.
a
So
top.
I have Garrett Wilson and
first
Jamar
round.
Chase,
I think.
and Jamar Chase is an 8th round keeper because I got him from Miguel.
Yeah, but this is the last year you get. This is the last year you keep him.
Yeah, but I have Jamar Chase for an 8th rounder, and I
Right.
have Garrett Wilson. I have Garrett Wilson for like probably like close to around an 8th or a 9th or 10th or something.
Yeah. I have all my fucking.
Drafting Le'Veon Bell first overall was a huge setback.
Yeah, I wasn't here when that happened. Like I was a part of the league when that happened, but that was
it was
that
Le'Veon
was
Bell
definitely
followed
rough.
up in the 2nd round by Leonard Fournette. And if I drafted Leonard Fournette 2nd round the next year, it would have been a great move.
Yeah.
I was my prediction was 1 year too early.
Yeah. I was looking at. I got a 1, a 2, a 4, 2 5s, a 6, and a 7, and I went to the championship game and I made all those fucking trades. I had Keenan
Who
Allen,
won?
D Hop, AJ Brown, Obi.
Oh,
He and I
God.
played each other in the championship game.
Can't believe
Dalvin Cook fucked me at the end.
Dalvin Cook.
Apparently, he's been getting traded.
They should trade Dalvin Cook.
Don't draft him in fantasy. He will
Justin
fucking
Herbert, Dalvin Cook, Nick Chubb, Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Mark Andrews. I lost to Rashad Penny.
He ended up
Russell
with Keenan
Gage.
Allen?
That was 2 years ago. This year, my team, I had Lamar Jackson, Dalvin Cook, Jonathan
Dude, I had-
Taylor, D Hop, AJ Brown, Keenan Allen,
Starting lineups.
and Dalton Schultz. And I lost to the championship game.
Dog, yo.
And like I said, I still have all that draft capital left over.
I still can't believe Raleigh snaked my championship fucking 3-4 years ago.
Like 5 years ago, or my first one ever, I was down like 28.
Like more than that.
Devontae Freeman was my only player.
I went
left. He
to-
had his best game of the season. I won by .01.
Yo, I went to bed. I was like, yo, I'm fantasy football champion.
You fucking went to bed on championship night.
Bro,
I was
up by like 35 points. He had Devonta Freeman and a kicker. I was like, oh, lock, done, game over. Freeman puts up like 30. The kicker gets like, yeah.
It was on the last drive. Like they were like running on the clock. I was like, don't get it.
What was that? Matt Ryan's that. is
I
that
think
that-
I think
that
I think it was
the
the
MVP
I think
year?
it was the Super Bowl year.
Yeah, it was the
I think it was
MVP.
the year after. Maybe.
Something. No, it was like our.
The fall from
No, Devonta, I drafted Devonta high that year, and he didn't have a great season.
It was like a year. It was like a year or two after we left college. I think.
Yeah, something like that.
That's great. Just think about all the players that had like wild seasons and then fell off out of nowhere.
Devonta Freeman was a
DeMarco
stud.
Murray,
Yeah. It's same fucking team.
David Johnson,
Darren McFadden.
Darren
The
McFadden.
running
Dar-
back way, bro. That's why it's like you get
Trent
nervous
Richardson.
with a lot of guys.
Trent was never that good.
No.
He was never
The
like
1 year I had him, he was fucking amazing. I won the chip with him.
yeah, but like the other guys were like perennial like top picks, and then they just fucking fall off.
Like it's just so weird. They could just like the NFL just fizzles in and out, like a 3-year just stud, and then like you were saying, like Stephon Gilmore, defensive player of the year, next year
Irrelevant.
benched. You fucking
Yeah,
Todd
we said
Gurley,
Todd Gurley.
offensive player of the year.
One of the best seasons.
Can't even. Yeah,
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell, Le'Veon Bell was Hall of Fame track,
Mm-hmm.
and took a year
Antonio
off.
Brown.
Antonio Brown is still Hall of Fame track, just probably going to be dead at like 45 from CTE.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or someone's going to shoot him for the shit that he fucking does.
Mm-hmm.
Good episode.
Oh, so who do you guys got for NCAA tournament?
Oh, yes. Good fucking point. I got Kansas.
I made 2 brackets. Yeah, I got Kansas and Indiana.
I got Kansas. Just because that guy Grady Dick on Kansas.
Hey yo!
Have you seen him?
Rawls voting for the dick.
And he goes, "Have you seen him?"
Have you seen Dick?
Oh,
He's like the
throbbing,
best
right?
freshman in the Bro, he's one of the best freshmen in the country. Grady Dick. He's from Wichita, Kansas.
I heard he plays.
A bucket.
Yeah, I heard he has
And his name is
great
Grady
D.
Dick, so I have to-
plays some great D.
He's a slippery one.
Bro, Hofstra was a huge win yesterday. Hofstra was down
To Rutgers.
To Rutgers, the one seed in the NIT. They were down 5 points with 30 seconds left. They tied the game and won in overtime.
Yeah.
And Estrada,
That's rough.
their best player, was out all of overtime.
Yeah.
Who's the biggest upset you got?
Oh, dude, I picked like
Iona's going to win their first game.
College of Charleston for like the first round.
Is Iona even in it?
Yeah, no.
No.
Iona hasn't been in it
They
since
play
like
UConn.
2013.
Iona plays UConn.
Iona.
Iona?
4-13, yeah.
I
Iona.
could beat UConn.
Iona always is in their
Iona's really good.
their conference championship with either them or Manhattan,
Yeah,
and I
no.
always pick one of the two.
I have
Iona bought out my
Last
college.
year was St. Peter's.
Shout out Clippers, Concordia College, the college formerly known as Concordia College. R.I.P. Got bought out by Iona.
I saw a guy talking on TikTok saying that every year he bets the 12, 13, 14, 15,
Money line.
16 seeds money
No,
line.
not 16.
Not 16?
No,
All right, so
just
12 through 15.
12 through 15 money line.
Money line
And
every
it
single time.
always-
And he's
it
always
always-
positive at the end of the tournament.
Bro, there
Pretty
was a
crazy.
stat that
That's
came out.
wild.
There was a stat from last year. It's like if you put $1,000 on every underdog last year, you would have came out with $13,000.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Me and
Yeah.
Blaze were like, we're gonna
Cause
we're
but like
just gonna pick the spread for every underdog, like outside of like the 15 and 16, because like the odds of them winning.
yeah,
are so low.
I think it just saw it was like 100. Like the one seed is 174 and one.
Yeah, I mean last year St. Peter's was a 15, right? Yeah, they were.
Who
15.
was the? It was what was it Coastal Carolina or whatever it was a couple years ago was the 16 seed that won. That was the.
Not maybe Florida Gulf Coast.
That's what it
Coast
was. Something like
was,
that.
2015 Dunk
Yeah.
City or some shit.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
They
Florida
were
Gulf.
they were that 16 seed right to do it.
Yep.
To
And then,
upset.
and then Duke lost. They were
They were
Florida
16.
Gulf Coast was a 16. Remember Virginia lost to a 16. UMBC 116.
UMBC Bulldogs, yeah.
And then the next year they won the chip with Kyle Guy and Ty.
Who else lost? Duke lost to a 15. Who'd they lose to?
Who was CJ McCollum?
Lehigh.
Gonzaga always loses to some high seeded team because the Big East is just the most overrated conference.
Gonzaga's not Big East. They're Mountain West.
Yeah.
I thought they were Big East.
Oh, Gonzaga's in like Utah.
No, it's in Washington State.
Is it? Yeah, yeah. It's in the Northwest.
Is it all the way in Washington?
Yeah.
I thought it was center of the country.
Spoke.
Yeah.
What am I thinking of? What college am I thinking of? It's in, like,
In the
Georgetown?
Big East?
Xavier.
no.
Villanova usually wins.
Drake. Drake's in the East, right?
No.
I don't know what I'm thinking of then.
Creighton. Creighton's in the Big East.
Oh, that's who
DePaul.
Drake's playing, right?
Creighton makes
Yeah,
no
DePaul.
sense being in the Big East.
Yeah, it's in
Alabama.
No, it's
Is
in the
it-
Midwest. Creighton's in Nebraska.
Is Creighton a sleeper? Aren't they a
Oh, I
six
thought it was
seed?
Creighton. I thought it was Creighton, Alabama.
Omaha. No,
Kansas?
it's Nebraska. Omaha.
Yeah.
I thought it was in Alabama.
Omaha.
No.
Creighton's where Dougie McBuckets went.
Yeah.
His dad is the coach.
Yep. Blaze told us that he was going into.
Yeah, Purdue. I was surprised to see Purdue as the one seed.
Well, I don't follow it ever, but I heard that like no real one seeds actually.
Savion's sleeping.
I heard like all the real one seeds got upset.
He has to be at work at 5.
Upset.
So
when?
what?
Like they didn't.
8-16 gets
I heard a
sleep.
ton of one seeds didn't make the tournament.
He has to be at work at 5.
you're
What do you
bugging.
mean one seeds didn't make the tournament? They're a one seed in the tournament. How they not make the tournament?
Trash.
Like teams that
You got to get that kid a job with the Gritty.
Oh, North Carolina you're talking about.
I don't know. There was people
Oh, like they lost their conference tournament
And
and,
then
they
they
didn't get an
didn't
at-large
become-
bid.
the one seed into the March Madness bracket.
Right.
Wait, are you sure you're not talking about North Carolina this year was the preseason number 1 team in the country?
I'm not sure, but they didn't make. I don't even call it.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Matt Corral is the starting QB of the Carolina Panthers.
Come talk to me, Joe Blackhall.
After what?
After Campbell's, he was the starting quarterback.
It probably will still be Andy Dalton. Or who? Or it's
gonna be CJ
it's gonna be
Arguing the Carolina Panthers starting quarterback.
Yes.
this year.
All right, let's. We're already like hour
wants to call time out?
21.
Before we finish though, we gotta all smile for the camera so we don't get looking stupid.
Yeah, just sit up and look at the camera.
Just like look at the camera and give them a nice little smile, and it's gonna be like the cover photo for YouTube.
Eat a fat dick, YouTube. You bunch of fucking commies.